We didn't start out great, but then we got momentum going, and we got some points up there, got the lead, and then, had those turnovers that just stuff we never do, and then that kind of just, I don't know. I think it maybe took away a little confidence in us and just the momentum, and for the next few drives we weren't playing like the Florida Gators, and then we got back going and got back the momentum and started making plays again.
Your yards per completion were 31.6. The time of possession was 31.06. And the ratings for the night were 31.6. And during the game, 90 million people Googled John 3:16, and it's the number one thing on all social media right now. And I was just standing in that hallway thinking, God, I didn't know that you were doing anything. Like, I thought that was like 3 years ago. But it's amazing how big the God is that we serve. He took something that I did 3.5 years ago to make a decision, put Philippians 4:13, and then change it for one game. But I thought, hey, this is really cool. We impacted some people, but it's done. But no, God has an awesome plan. He has an awesome plan, and you might not even see what he's doing. You might not even know how he's working. But the amazing thing is when we step out and we show a little courage, we step out and we show a little boldness, what God can do with it in our lives, through our lives. But he's a big God, and he can perform miracles. I really believe that he wants to. You have to understand, the God of this universe loves you so much that he sent his son to die for you. If he loves you that much, is he not gonna wanna fight for you? Is he not gonna wanna fight with you? Is he not gonna wanna come through for you? Now, that doesn't mean that life is gonna be easy. It's not, but it means that it's gonna be worth it. When I was at the University of Florida going into my junior year, we were getting ready to play a rival, and I was in the training room, and I was getting stretched by one of our trainers, and I looked over and I saw some of my teammates putting eye blacks under their eyes, and so I started to think, they're like putting their mom's name or their area code and different things like that, and so I started to think, I wonder if I could put an eye black and grab a silver Sharpie and put something on there that could be encouraging or inspiring or, I don't know, uplift somebody. I started to think, well, what should I put? And I started to think, well, God bless. And I was like, I don't know. And then I thought of Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I was like, that's an awesome verse for a football player. That's what I'm going to go with. So I put Philippians 4:13 under my eyes, and we went out there and played, and honestly, it really wasn't a big deal. A couple local newspapers wrote about it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But I kept wearing it under my eyes every single week. And as most of you know, fans in the SEC, you're extremely passionate about your teams. And so the next couple of weeks, they start selling it at the Gator bookstore, on the sides of the streets. They're selling Philippians 4:13. And like, I'm seeing fans, and they're like, all right, go Gators, Philippians 4:13. I'm like, you don't even know what that means. I actually had one guy come up to me, his name was Phil, and he said, did you put that under your eyes for me? No, what does the 4:13 mean? But I kept wearing it under my eyes the entire season, and we get to the SEC championship game against Alabama, and we're getting ready to run out of the tunnel. And as a football player, so often it is really tunnel vision. It's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. You can't afford to step back and look at the big picture because you can just lose focus. So many times it's just locked in to the next thing we have to do. Well, at this moment, I really felt like God was putting out of my heart to change the verse. I was like, really, right now? Those voices of truth would say, I'm here for a reason. I might not be enough, but I'm more than conquerors through him that loved me. So when I know I'm gonna get scrutinized, I know I'll either win or lose, I know I'll be a hero or the GOAT, I also know it doesn't matter because the God of this universe, he formed me in my mom's womb, and he said, through me you're more than enough, and I love you no matter what, and I have a perfect plan for your life. There's a picture that I stumbled across, and it's one of Time's 100 most influential images of all time. And it's the picture of this young girl. She's on her way from her village to a feeding center not far away. And she's so malnourished and she's moving so slow that this vulture is waiting to attack. So the young man that took this picture, I think there was probably something in his heart that he wanted to do good. He wasn't sure. So he captured this picture and he just waited, and then the vulture got closer. So he kind of shooed the vulture off, and then he walked away, and the vulture would come right back. And he was told, because of some of the sicknesses in the areas, don't touch anybody, don't do anything. And so he didn't. He did nothing because apparently the cost was too much. So he left. He went back. The New York Times published this photo in 1993. In 94, he won the Pulitzer Prize for this photo. 4 months after this, he chose to end his life. You see, every single one of us, we have a chance to be successful in life. And you know what? I hope you are. I really do. I hope you're successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful. But success is just about you. But when you have a life of significance that's focused on other people, that's focused on the Great Commission, that is focused on bringing the love of Jesus to hurting people around the world, you have a life of significance. And that will be fulfilling. That will be life-changing. It will be life-giving. And I believe one day you will hear when you get to heaven, one day, good job, that a boy, well done.